My name is Virginia Drake. I live in Kentucky, and I had 4 near-death experiences. I was my mother's 7th miscarriage. I was 1 pound and 7 ounces in 1951. I should never survive that. Then I drowned twice at the age of 11 and 16. At 46, I was a teacher. I have 2 sons. We look like a wonderful, happy family. We had the big house, we had the cars, we had the pool, and we all should have been happy, and none of us were. The week before my heart attack, I just literally had sat down to watch TV. Nobody was there. I think it was like an Oprah Winfrey thing, and I couldn't understand why the guy was on there. He kept saying, I take 90 pills a day, don't get a heart transplant. And I'd even look around thinking, is he talking to me? And I would go on, and then he'd say it again, don't get a heart transplant. In the middle of this little conversation, I raised my hand and said, I will not get a heart transplant. I'm 46 years old. What are you trying to say? And I just thought, is it in my mind? What's going on? And then literally a week later, I'm laying in an emergency room, and they're saying she's having a heart attack. That was the first day of summer break. I had my son and a couple other kids, and I kept getting really sick, and I felt a pain in my chest. It felt like an anaconda and an elephant sat on me, but I didn't think anything about it because I'd just been 3 weeks prior to that in the emergency room while I was teaching. I had acid reflux. They said, you're gonna feel like you're having a heart attack. I was cleaning out trash, and I was putting it in the trash can, and I leaned over, and the trash can filled up with water where I was perspiring so much from this heart attack. And I knew that wasn't correct. So I went down to the principal's office, and that's where my secretary, Mary, was. And they called my son and got him to come take me home. But when I got there, I went straight upstairs thinking I must have pulled a muscle and went straight into the hot tub. I vomited before I ever got there, and I thought, that's a little odd. Why would I vomit? I ran back up 3 more flights of steps thinking, well, I'll just lay down for a minute. And then my cats are the ones that were the indicators. They just kept staring at me. And I thought, there's something wrong. And I heard a voice literally say, you need to go to the mirror and look at the mirror. Well, when I went into my bathroom, and I was very ashen gray, and I heard a voice say, you need to go to the emergency room now. That voice was the same voice that warned me about having a car accident almost 30 years before. So I went on down the steps, and I said, we need to go to the emergency room. He got me in the car. He dropped me off at the emergency room in our little hospital. I remember the lady at the desk said, and she kept looking at me. I said, well, I'm having some chest pains. I think I'm having acid reflux. She said, you need to go back there now. And I thought, well, see, it's a small town. They recognize me. I'm really all about myself, then. And I'm laying there, and I had a friend there that I went to high school with who was a nurse, and she looked at me and she said, you need to lay down. And I said, okay. And that's when I left my body. That's really when something inside of me pulled me inside of myself, and I was viewing everything through my solar plexus. And I'm laying there, and I had a friend there that I went to high school with who was a nurse, and she looked at me and she said, you need to lay down. And I said, okay. And that's when I left my body. That's really when something inside of me pulled me inside of myself, and I was viewing everything through my solar plexus. But in my intelligence, I kept saying, that's not possible. You can't be viewing something inside yourself in your solar plexus. Where's my eyes? Nothing was making sense, but everything was making sense. And this being inside of me was reassuring me the entire time, be still, be quiet. And I kept thinking, well, am I screaming and yelling outside of myself? What's going on? And it kept saying, be still, be quiet. Well, then when they opened up the door, I saw my husband. Then they pushed him out real fast. And then I looked up at the same time as the door is closing. There's my principal, who had just found out that I was in the emergency room, and something told her intuitively to go to the emergency room. Well, why? It's because Sister Marcia is the one who rode in the ambulance with me. So she was the one who saw the whole event. And I remember I could hear things, I could see things, I could even feel myself in the corner because I was already out of my body because of the pain. But yet I could still be in my body at the same time. So I was seeing two different stories, but yet it's all going on at the same time. So I was really confused, but yet not confused. When you have a near-death experience, there is two dualities to it. And I'd had out-of-body experiences, obviously, a lot in my life. I just didn't know what they were. So when I got into this, I didn't realize that I had been there from 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock that night. They finally stabilized me and I got into the emergency vehicle. And I heard the gentleman as he was pushing me in, he said, "She's not gonna make it." And I was very angry that he would even say that. Well, he never said a word. I read his mind because I was out of my body. I couldn't see anything. That's what made me mad too, is I asked Marcia, I said, "Did they turn off the lights? Why would they turn off the lights?" She said, "They were never turned off. The lights were never turned off." Well, when I got out of my body, that's when the lights went off. I was literally following the ambulance, and I was in the ambulance, but yet I was outside the ambulance. And that's when I could look forward to the road, but yet be in the van at the same time.